All right. Hi. Sorry for the pop. Hello and welcome to today's Plumbers of Data Science podcast. Today we're going to talk about Nifi, reading Twitter data with Nifi, where I'm having a bit of trouble. Then also what we're going to talk about is a network communications protocol, and there's a cool map that I think that is very interesting to see. And then I have some other thing that is called how is it called? Big data and data science map. Come on. No, it's called the 2018 Big Data and AI Landscape. And this is also super interesting. So the network protocol map and this Big Data and AI Landscape, they're two big images, and they're super interesting to see. The first one is a bit older, and yeah. So this is where we're headed today. Welcome everybody. I hope you had a great weekend. And yeah, I thought I tried to do it yesterday, but yesterday I was working on the podcast the whole day, as much time as I could spend. And I can tell you that, let me just bring it up real quickly. I have uploaded all 84 episodes from the YouTube podcast onto the podcast that can be, or the audio podcast that you may be listening here on Anchor or on Spotify or whatever. So everything is online. It was a lot of work, and yeah, I finally did it. This time after the stream, I'm going to process it right immediately and put it on the podcast. That was super annoying. I don't want to do this again. Yeah. Then let's dive right into. Hi guys, how's it going? Let's dive right into where is it? My cookbook. So the cookbook, I made a short update for the cookbook, and in the update for the cookbook I put in some stuff about Heineck. How's it going? Great to have you here again, although I started on Tuesday. It's really, Nick is a is a real enthusiast. That's awesome. I love it when people come here and we talk about this stuff. So what I put in the cookbook is I put stuff about networking and network protocols. And one thing I have learned, and that was years and years and years ago, and that's in the cookbook, is the OSI model, the Open Systems Interconnection Model. It's basically a model of how the data is transmitted through the network. Yeah, Nick, the Nifi stuff. I've been having a bit of problems, but you're going to see this in a few minutes. So the OSI model is how the data is transmitted over the internet, and it's split into layers. This is actually the wrong way up here in this. So you start with the physical layer. This is basically how the data is transmitted through Ethernet cables or through fiber optics, and then you have the other layers: data link, network, transport layer, session, presentation, application, and so on. So this is a lot of stuff to learn, and I don't want to go over everything here. There's also a quick Cisco. This is from Cisco. Cisco has also a overview of basically if you have the layer, what is on the layer. So if you're having the physical This is basically cables, hubs, and so on. The data link layer is bridging, and this is basically, if you have something like a MAC address, media access control access, this is on this layer, and then you have the other layers, the network layer 3, that is where IP is running, or ICMP, and so on. And then next, this is where you have TCP and UDP, and then you're coming further up where the session establishment and this stuff goes, network file systems and SQL, and then you have a presentation layer with JPEG, TIFF, and so on, and then you have application layers. This is stuff like that you use in your programs, like SMTP. Okay, this was a quick overview. What I like, and I had this years and years and years ago, that was the network protocol map. And this map, I had it printed out. This was from a site called was called Chavin, and this is basically this is no longer available because I don't know where. Oops. I don't know where Chavin went. I guess they went down or something. They're no longer in business. So here the cool thing was you had all the layers, and this is I think this is from 2005 or something. Is there a timestamp here? There is not, but I think this is from about 2005. And this in this cool thing, you have basically all the layers and all the stuff. So as you can see here, physical layer, you have Ethernet, token ring, FDDI, all the stuff, and then layer 2 data link. You can basically look up what you have. Here's a wireless LAN network, and a lot of other stuff. WAN, wide area networking, and so you can go basically through the whole thing, and you can see if you have a protocol, where is it, and this stuff. This thing is awesome. So you can see basically where does stuff go, and this is it was. Can I zoom out a bit? It was then basically it was it had a few parts: TCP/IP, then Unix, Novel, Microsoft, IBM, ISO, Voice over IP. There's also Voice over IP, VPN, and security, and also some Apple stuff. So it's a bit older, but nevertheless, I want to show you this thing. I still think this thing is cool, and maybe I print it out and hang it here on the door or something. This thing, I love this thing, and it's fun. You just look stuff up and see how the whole thing works and where stuff goes. Yeah, so this thing is in the cookbook. The next thing I remembered this morning, and I quickly looked it up on my phone, and then I had to quickly re-find it here before the stream because I didn't have so much time for preparation. There basically one thing that is interesting is basically what is the whole landscape of big data and AI? What tools are there? What methods are there? What exists? And since a few years ago, there's a map, and I really like this map. It's also huge. At some points, I don't agree with it how stuff is organized, but this thing is basically made to show you where everything is in the whole ecosystem, or in the whole landscape. It began with just a big data landscape. Now it's big data and AI landscape. of course, because AI needs to be everywhere. So here's the thing. It's free. Matt Truck. He has this open. So I'm going to add this link to the cookbook also. And if you're listening to the podcast, check this out. I'm putting, I don't know exactly where I'm going to put it, but I'm going to put it in the description of this video, of this YouTube video. So I don't know. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, you can't see it. So it's this freaking huge thing here, and let's just focus in on a few things. So one thing that they say here, for instance, they made the distinction: infrastructure, analytics, applications, enterprise, industry, and so on. So as you can see right here with infrastructure, you have basically Hadoop, where you find again Cloudera, Hortonworks, and then Pivotal and stuff, and then in the Hadoop in the cloud, and streaming and in memory. So you find here Databricks, AWS, some Oracle stuff, a lot of stuff I don't know. Then you have NoSQL databases and new SQL databases, GraphDBs. What was MPP called? Massive parallel processing DBs, I think. For stuff for data transformation like Talent, Pentaho, and so on. Hi Dragonfly, hi Aditya, and governance and all this stuff. So you can, if you have some question, where should I go, what should I look into, okay, this stuff, okay, you're looking into analytics, you want to do visualization, what do you have here? You have, let me zoom in a bit, you have Tableau, SAP Lumira, Google Cloud, how's that spelled? Click, and so on, Plotly, machine learning stuff here, and all this stuff, they have some applications, and then here on the bottom here you find open source things with frameworks like HDFS, MapReduce, Flink, Spark, stuff for data access, Cassandra, Nifi, and so on. Dragonfly, post your question and then we'll get to it. Coordination, so stuff you know and you find, and or you already know, and you can find a lot of other stuff here. Here's Anaconda, Jupyter for notebooks, Zeppelin, data resources, where was IoT stuff, GE, ThingWorks, wasn't there something interesting again? Where was that? Okay, data access, I already got to it. So this thing is worth checking out. I need to find the right place to have it in the cookbook. The cookbook, by the way, for me it's a great success. This thing right now has 957 stars. I'm not 100% sure. Some forks, and this, or is that true? Is that right? 138 forks. And so this thing is really going. So I really love how people see this. Okay, then let's quickly go to the question that Dragonfly posted, because he says he doesn't have so much time today. So what is the weakness of Lambda architecture on the streaming side? what do you think is a disadvantage as compared to other products or solution? So using Spark as an example. That's a good question. You're still working on your presentation, I guess. Weaknesses. Ooh. Weaknesses. That's a good question. Maybe Nick has something on top of his mind. Nick bailed on you. Okay. That's a good question. I don't know. A weakness or disadvantage. Compared to what? Yeah, Nico's scream cool. Yeah, but what is the downside here? The downside, the Lambda architecture. Well, the downside is that that you have a lot of so basically you have multiple places where you have to do coding. So you have to write a code for or a flow, as Jerome here says. Jerome. We have two data flows. You need two pipelines to maintain. This is a great answer. I was going this way as well. So you need to have a code for the streaming. You need to have a code for the batching, and this makes it a bit more complicated because you need to maintain both, and both do a different stuff. And yeah, so it's harder to maintain, but I think this cannot be the only thing here. Yeah. You need to maintain two code bases, and you need to do, of course, then you have double the pipelines. But I'm not sure if it's with the pipelines, if it's this much. Well, I mean the early stage where, for instance, you write data into Kafka. No, but yeah, I guess so, because the batch processing may be taking data from HDFS or so and writing it somewhere else, and this is completely different than streaming that takes data from Kafka and writes it into HDFS. So yeah, the remedy of this problem, this is using the Kappa architecture, that we have seen before. This is something that you can use, but I have to be honest, I still haven't really 100% figured out the Kappa architecture and where and how to use it efficiently. And yeah, maybe one thing that maybe what's the one upside of not using the Lambda architecture is, if you see stuff, we have looked into Druid, that maybe you can do this stuff with only one system and not have so many systems, because the whole you have in a Lambda architecture you have a lot of tools that you use HFS, use Spark, Kafka, and so on and Zookeeper and Yarn and everything. And I'm guessing, or I would say, if you move away from the Lambda architecture, you could build it in a simpler way, in an easier way. Yeah, it's that's also a good point. Shalom says here, it depends also on your use case. So sometimes Lambda architecture is really great, sometimes it's overkill. It depends a bit on what you actually want to do with the data. I know this is a very general answer, but yeah. I hope this helps a bit. That was great teamwork, guys. That was great teamwork. Nick, Jerome, that was super. I hope this helps a bit. Okay, that sounds optimistic then. Let's say this. Okay, then yeah. Send the checks in the mail. No need to do that. Okay. Okay, let's move on. If you have another thing, you can also write me on LinkedIn or so. Can DM me. Where was I? The podcast, the cookbook. Yeah. So also this whole article here is always worth reading, and you can also look into, if you have the page here, he has 2018. You can also go to 2017 and look at the 2017 site landscape. That was just big data landscape, you see. And does he have it for 2016? No. Yeah, that was the big data landscape. Is big data still a thing? Okay. I just check something here. Yeah. Okay, then let's dive into Nifi for a bit, or into the use case that we want to do. So in the last stream we have downloaded the Docker instance for Nifi, and we run it, and we tested around a bit with processing. How was that called? That was called processors. And so unfortunately I didn't have that much time. I wanted to spend more time today, but I had a lot of stuff to do, and we needed to prepare birthday for tomorrow. My son has his first birthday tomorrow, and so we had to do a bit of stuff. What I could find out, I took a step back today, and I looked into how to actually access the Twitter API, and I'm not amused. I'm not 100% sure if people can use this for a online course, or for working with this, for reworking, or how is that called? For doing this stuff and testing this stuff out. But no. So what you have to do, first thing you have to do is you have to apply for access of the Twitter API. And I thought this was simpler. You need to have a developer account, and this developer account, you need to set it up. Your simple Twitter account, that is not enough. You have to apply for a developer account. I thought that this might take some time, but fortunately this went very, very quickly. And what you have to go here is standard APIs. And then the fun starts. Then you have to go, and I made a screenshot of it. Then you have to go and apply for it. So you have to say, okay, this is my Twitter use case. Then you need to have the intended use. Can we redo this? Let me just pull this away quickly. I don't want to show sensitive data. No, I cannot do this again. So then you have to ask a few questions. You have to answer what are you going to do with this API. Yeah, so as I said, exploring API for teaching data science. Trying to create an online course where students get data from Twitter with Apache Nifi, then process it with Spark and store it in a NoSQL database. Thank you. And then it asks you, do you analyze Twitter data? Yes, and then this needs to be 200 characters. Then this thing needs to be 100 for educational purposes, like activity for certain hashtags, sentiment analysis of tweets, key people who share interesting links. And then it asks you if you are doing retweets, tweets or likes, because I selected the option that I'm creating a bot. I said no, because in this case we don't want to create or we don't want to do tweets or retweets. And then it asks if you are show tweets or Twitter information off Twitter, display tweets outside Twitter, show aggregate data about Twitter content. I said aggregate data. Man, I have so much spelling errors here. Aggregate data will be shown on my YouTube channel, as well as my free data engineering cookbook on GitHub, and of course any online course I create. Okay, and then what it also asks you is, I have written this down, will your product serve service or analyze making Twitter content or derived information available to a government entity? I said no. Then it basically, you have to access the terms, or you have to agree to the terms of service. Why doesn't it let me go out here again? Okay. And then what you end up with is a developer account. And this more or less, so I named my plumbers of data science, and then you have to create environments for searching tweets for the past 30 days, for the full archive, and then for the sandbox for account activity on the general API, let's say. And these two here, they have a rate limit of 250 calls a month and 50 calls a month, because these are basically the enterprise level APIs that we are not going to use, and they want to get really money from them. And so what will be interesting here is this thing, and I'm not 100% sure how to do this thing. So I have set up the account and created the product sandbox, and I have up to 15 subscriptions per month. I'm not 100% sure what a subscription is. And so basically this is a overview of how you can monitor what is going on. And I'm guessing here you can also somehow see the usage or something, the more in detail usage. Then what you need to do is, because now you only have the, let's say, the sandboxes or a way to access Twitter, now you have to get the keys for your app, that your app can access the API. And I just need to pull this away for a second, because I don't want to show you all my keys in by accident. Okay. Do not press keys and tokens. Do not press keys and tokens. So what what I created an app, and then you need to give it a name and a description and a website URL, and then you need to. So I used my own, sign in with Twitter, and yeah, some stuff I left blank, and then the app usage, I just pasted in the. Oh, let me make this bigger. I just pasted in the description from the last one, from the application of the developer account. So basically, now I have this, and then keys and tokens. There I get the keys and tokens to access the API. There's also, whoa, where's it gone? Yeah? Where has it gone? Here is it. What the? Oh, no, that's strange. Okay, I'm still hassling here with the. Okay, then you can go into permission, and in the permissions you can give the app read-only access. So this app will not be able to post tweets, to do likes, and so on. This is only a read-only access token that you create. And with this, I went to Nifi, and I made the get Twitter, or I created the get Twitter processor, and there is the, so I used the filter and can I make this bigger? So I used the filter endpoint because I want to filter for a certain hashtag here, hashtag data science, and then this consumer key, consumer secret, access token secret. This is available here from the keys and tokens section that I don't want to go to because there are all the keys in plain text. And so I set those values here, and I didn't use a language. What I did is I was setting the how did I what was the penalty duration? That was a standard setup. I did the scheduling, and I said current tasks 1, timer driven scheduling, a run schedule every 30 seconds. It starts every minute. I don't know why, but from this on, basically this is everything I can see here in this Nifi processor. Settings, name, get Twitter. One thing I had to do is use this success here, automatically terminate relationships. All status updates will be routed to this relationship. If I only have this processor and nothing, I need to check success here because otherwise it will not run. So there are no more properties. Everything I just put it in. Run duration, I could send the run duration up, but when I go apply here, and this thing is set up now, it's in stop right now, and now I can run it. And if I run it, you can see here tasks 1. The problem is it says Twitter ID received error, HTTP error, authorization required, will attempt to reconnect. Maybe it's not big enough for you, but yeah, this is basically an error I get. I tried. I don't know how to get around this. I don't know if I'm making a mistake, or the strange thing is that I'm getting a 401. So it looks like I'm having access to the API, because otherwise I would receive some other error code or some timeouts. But here I'm getting immediately a authorization required thing. So I don't know. I haven't had the time to look into this more than how long did I check this? 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I need to do some more research here. I have no idea. I don't know if any of you has ever done this. Yeah. I don't know how to do or what to do. So it's always the same. Yeah. Now it says stopped by error. Retry is exhausted due to null. Will not attempt to reconnect. So something is going on. I don't know why. I have no idea. It's super strange. Now it said again, authorization required. So yeah. I need to work a bit more on this. I don't know how to fix it, or if I should create a processor myself and do there should be a HTTP get HTTP, and this would be the next thing that I would try, is to just create my own my own call for the Twitter API if this doesn't work. But I'm going to do some googling here and try to figure out if the get Twitter, if I can make it work. What I tried also is I changed trying to change the endpoint to sample endpoint. Doesn't change a thing. I have no idea why this doesn't change, why this doesn't work. Yeah, I would say I don't really have that much more. It's a bit annoying. I don't know if any of you guys has some experience with this or can point me at some direction already. It's a bit annoying. I thought what's this thing here? I thought I'd just go in here and put in my access tokens, and then that's it. And then I get the data for #data science. Is my Twitter app active? That's a good question. Let me just app details. Can I set this active somewhere? Apps. No, there is no option to make this active or not active. Apps, dev environments. I have no idea. So this doesn't work. So because what I have done is, let me just go back. In the configuration, what I needed to do is I needed to create a sandbox, and I just created online course sandbox, and the app name, the Nifi reader, that is basically the app that I created here in the apps function here, Nifi reader, and there in the details there's no option to actually test this. Yeah, so the next thing that I'm going to do is, as Jerome here says, I'm trying to test. I'm going to try some calls with Postman, but I'm not going to do this right now. I need to take some time and try this before I'm boring you to death here. Yeah, guys. I don't know why this doesn't work. Maybe there's a bug somewhere. I don't know. But we're going to figure it out either way. All right. Yeah, that's it for today. Nick, are you disappointed? Because I thought I would get here. I would get faster to a point where I get data here into Nifi, but I don't even get data into Nifi. So I don't know where the problem is. Yeah. Okay, guys. If you have any more questions, like Dragonfly, now's the time, or I'm going to quit this one, and we're going to see each other next time on Thursday, because tomorrow I don't have time to stream. And yeah. Again, Nick, I'm trying to figure this out. Yeah. I thought this is easy, but it's not. As always. Yeah. Okay, guys. See you on Thursday. Maybe I have Thursday a bit more time during the day. I was just yesterday. How long was I working on the podcast yesterday? 4 hours or something. 3.5, 4 hours. And I wanted to stream in the evening, but no chance. And I couldn't even do some stuff. I was just watching Tron Legacy. Falling asleep, of course. Okay, guys. Yeah, let's quickly do a research here. Yeah, I'm doing the research on stream sets after the stream, and then I'm going to talk to you on Thursday what I think of it, and maybe if we can use it for this thing. I found Nifi so interesting. Okay, guys. Bye bye, everyone. It was a great stream. Quick stream this time, but yeah, that's how it is. I hope you could use the first two things with the big data landscape and the network map. Bye bye, and see you on Thursday. Don't forget to like this video. Bye bye.